Royal City throwing his second rock, hoping to get around that center guard and put one close to the top four. I'm thinking his plan. First end, it sometimes takes a little bit of time to find the draw weight, but of course the teams get a chance to practice before the game, and you can see here that um, Miles managed to get the 4 foot, not behind the guard though, maybe given just a little bit too much ice. So we have a takeout by Noah Longland. He's going to try and take that out and possibly roll behind the guard. There's the there's the nose hit. Chris Parkinson now. An out turn takeout. Quiet wait. Sweeping hard to hold it straight, but this rock was underthrown, I believe, and will be well past the rock. You got to get down here and pray. Chris Parkinson throwing his second rock, drawing to the outside.
My knees are getting sore.
Thanks, Lonnie. Get a chair. Do you want a chair? Okay, we're about to have a final shot here from, oh, pardon me, first of the skip stones for Fenton.
Open takeout. And I think he got distorted a little bit. And maybe not quite through the weight he was planning, but
Looks like they're doing an awesome job trying to hold it, but it just slipped
he's
away.
got a tick. He got a tick. Sweeping definitely made that shot, Nicole.
It sure did. Okay, now we'll see what Tomlinson's going to try here with his last stone.
Yeah, he'll just be trying to put it in a similar spot. Actually, I'm surprised he doesn't change the shot a little bit so that Adam might have to think a little bit about where to put the broom.
Nerves out of the way and get comfortable on the ice.
Here's the draw shot coming. A little bit lighter this time. They're sweeping hard to get into the house. Still sweeping hard. And no. So this will be a blank end. Adam will throw this through the house and carry the hammer over into the second end. Talk to that tech guy. Jenny says she can't find the game. She can find the other game, but she can't find our game.
Can't find our game.
Okay.
Oh, just now. Okay. Yeah. But we were listening. It was good. Sorry.
Oh, you were listening.
Yeah.
We've got our fans back here. So hopefully we're tuning in now. There's had a few technical difficulties this afternoon, and sometimes the feed would go in and out. And I'm being helped by my wife at home. When we lose the feed, she gives me a call, and I get to talk to the tech person to get us up and running again. So we will be starting the second end. Team Fenton maintains the hammer for the second end. Team Tomlinson from Salmon Arm, they'll be throwing a center guard. How do you think the players are feeling, Nicole, after the first end?
Yeah, I think you get a few shots under your belt and you start to get a little bit more comfortable, and I think things will just be rolling on along nicely from now. They have a sense of what the ice is like for draw weight and how much curl they're needing.
Right, I was actually surprised in the first game that we did this afternoon. There was lots of rocks in play right from the very beginning, and I thought it was a little risky for both teams because you can get caught early and maybe go down early. But as it turned out, the Wilson team did take the early 3-point lead, but was tied up later on in the game. And in fact, the aggressive play continued throughout, and we were tied up coming home. And the Wilson team did not have to throw his last rock. He had one sitting shot rock, and the opposition team racked on one of the guards. But very exciting game. So unfortunately for the Tomlinson rink, they hogged their first guard shot, and Team Fenton trying to play the corner guard, and it'll be over the hog line and part way down.
There we go. Now where's the start and stop on this guy? Okay. Okay. And then where's the clear?
Same button. You gotta hold it tight. So corner guard, Team Tomlinson will ignore that. Of course, they can't do anything with it with the 5-rock rule that all of the competitive teams are playing these days. So they'll try to throw the center guard, and it's on its way. Team Tomlinson will be much happier with this result. Very nicely placed center guard. So Miles Reed from Royal City, try and use that corner guard, come around. Nicole will try and get a time on this. Needs to curl a little bit, but it surely will. Sweeper trying to help it over, and was successful. Just behind the tee line. A little bit deep.
We had a 1385 on that, and we're just at the back of the 12.
Yeah, so the ice is keening up a little bit then because that would have been tee line weight in the first end. So Thompson now wanting to use that center guard that he threw. This will be Ben Froese throwing this rock. Young curler from Salmon Arm. Looking pretty good. Tight to the guard. Coming to a stop, top four.
We had a 1410 on that, but being on the outside, it's a little bit stickier out over on the edges there. But lovely, it ended up in the four, biting the four.
Because he was so close to the guard, of course, it with the amount of curl that we have in the ice these days, it popped out the other side. So it's an open hit for Chris Parkinson. Oh, we heard this Skip yelling, whoa. Don't know if you heard that at home. Little bit of an outside roll. Nicely behind that corner guard that they threw earlier on in the end. So Team Tomlinson is going to have to either deal with that or they're continuing to be aggressive going around their center guard. Taking a little bit more ice because the other rock curled too far. The weight was perfect. This one looks a little bit lighter. The sweepers are on it hard now. And it is light. Gives them another guard, but they're soon going to have to get some rock in the house because Team Fenton is sitting two behind their corner guard. Looks like the skip is trying to decide whether he wants to deal with those center guards or use them himself and come around. Sometimes it's a good strategy to beat the opposition in. You like this call, Nicole?
Yes, I think I do. He's got two in there already, so one buried would be quite a nice shot with the high guards from the Thompson rink. It'd be very difficult to get in there.
It's on its way. They're sweeping it early. I think the skipper's worried about it being tight to the guard. Although, no, it's looking good now. It's all for weight. Sweepers are saying, no, it needs to stop. So they really didn't want to have it behind the tee line. It gives the Tomlinson team a real good opportunity to follow it down and negate those two rocks that are behind the corner guard. Those are dangerous rocks for Team Tomlinson because a big end could be shaping up. Eli Rand throwing this rock. Line looks good. It's all for weight now. Seems like it's got lots. Line is perfect.
Yes, and that's a beauty, Wayne. We had a 13.95 on that. just pop to the back of the fore and give a little bit of a bump to the Fenton stone.
Now Adams decided he's got to get rid of that at least one of those center guards so he can have access to the red rock and hopefully for Fenton to be able to score that big end. But he won't score big until he gets rid of this one for sure. Big weight takeout. Kind of opened up his other two rocks there on the side, but that's not really much of an issue for them at this stage. Does give Tomlinson a chance to remove that though, and then he won't be so scary with his lone red rock in the house. It's always scary to try and guard one against uh, three opposition rocks. I used to have a golden rule, Nicole: don't guard one against a number of rocks unless you absolutely have to.
Yeah, you want to make sure you get the perfect guard on that, or you're just creating an opportunity for the opponent to hit you out and create a big end.
So here comes a takeout shot. Well, not so much. They have changed their mind and decided to go the guard. It's going to be a little deep. Not ideal back there. Not ideal.
We had a little bit of overcurl on there, so that created an opportunity to Fenton to draw up and sit on top of that rock, or possibly even chip out a corner and be lying 3.
There's even a slight possibility of a double there. I don't think they'll call that right now. Main thing for Team Fenton is they'd like to hit this shot rock and roll a little bit to the right-hand side there. Out turn takeout. I'm expecting fairly firm. Line was a little full to begin with. Sweepers are trying to make it curl. It's a very nice shot. There's the hit. Missed the back one. Oh, just ticked it. Just ticked it. Not a disaster for Team Tomlinson.
So they do have the opportunity to possibly freeze here, which would definitely hold the Fenton ring to only 1 point. We'll see what he throws here. He's probably going to need to be in the 13-6 to 13-8 possibly to sit right on that button.
Yeah, the last time that they were over here with the broom where it was, I thought they were throwing a takeout, but I'm pretty sure, Nicole, you've called it right. They're going to draw down to that shot rock and try and freeze and hold Team Fenton to 1.
It does appear they're taking a little less ice on this side as opposed to the previous side, so possibly this is having a little bit more curl here.
Out turn draw. There's 6-7 feet of curl on this ice. Using Curl BC rocks. We have rocks of our own here in Salmon Arm, of course, but Curl BC being with a provincial competition, they brought their own rocks, and there's the draw coming up a little bit light, but it negates one of the side blue rocks, so that's a plus, although it was already negated by a rock here on the right-hand side at the back of the 8-foot. Looking at a couple options here, they could play the hit on that top one, or they could draw.
You do have to be careful with the hit, as they could end up running it back onto their own stone. So they'll have to come across the face here to get it on the inside and possibly get a roll behind the other red stone.
The rocks are curling nicely even with the takeout weights. I know that Adam has seen this line. Rock is on its way. Sweeper trying to hold the line. Should curl up nicely at the end. Well, they miscalled the sweeping on that rock because it should have missed on the jam, but it did not. So Team Tomlinson is breathing a sigh of relief. Looking at playing a guard. Tough to throw a guard where he needs it because you have to go way out on the outside of the ice there.
So watch, this is going to have to be a little bit higher than it was before. He came into the rings earlier, but I'm sure he'd like to stay out probably about 4 or 5 feet out, close to the center line there, just off about a rock width.
And that's what he was indicating. He'd like to be just to the right of that blue guard that's already there, and yeah, that's the plan A.
He is taking more ice, Wayne, so that should curl quite nicely from there.
On its way, appeared to be a little bit tight from my angle.
It is coming in quite nicely. It's going to give you a time here. And we look like we had a 16 on that guard. It's a very lovely shot.
Well, Nicole, I hate to disagree with you, but it's not really.
Well, I
It
guess there is an opening
it
there.
it it over curled and it didn't really help matters at all. So it's actually an open takeout, and if he hits it on the nose, it still would only be for one though.
Yes, it does appear that Tomlinson rink does have second shot.
It's not the biggest of ports, however. It's not a gimme shot, that's for sure. Out turn takeout, control weight, might be a little bit too much control.
Appears to be over curling slightly. We'll just see if the sweepers can hold it.
Oh, he snuck by those guards and to the button. What a beautiful shot and nicely managed, although it got much closer to those guards than I'm sure that they would have hoped for. Nice shot. Throwing guards on this ice is pretty difficult because of how much curl there is, and you need to be able to read how much it's going to curl based on how long or how short the guard is. So, unfortunately for Team Tomlinson, they played a really good end there and only gave up one, so they got to be happy with that. Now they have the hammer. See what they can do with the hammer. Hey, Nicole, did you maybe want to mention for Team Tomlinson? I know that they've got some sponsors that help them with their travel expenses and living expenses. It's not cheap playing this game once you start traveling and going to the bonspiels and so on. So who's been helping them out?
Well, yes, Wayne. For the Tomlinson rink, we have Walper Lumber, New Horizon RV Rentals, and Shuswap Orthodontics. And for the Fenton rink, sponsorship is quite a few on here. Accent Inns, Diamond Delivery, TDI Tech Development, Volvo Penta, Reed Chiropractic, Pharmasave, Dominion Lending, Hardline Ice Pat, and Sure Copy.
So this has actually been a great start for the young team from Salmon Arm, um, holding Team Fenton to 1 point through two ends. This Fenton team, I don't think I mentioned it off the top here, is they are the two-time BC Under 21 champion team from Royal City. So they're a pretty tough team to curl against, and for a young team to hold their own like this, that's excellent work. So here's the corner guard, thrown by Noah Longland. Miles Reed previously for Team Fenton through center guard. Didn't quite get to the center line, but still, it's a good guard. And they'll try to come around that now.
This is coming in quite nicely, Wayne.
Yeah, line looking good. Top four, that's pretty much perfect. Right to the button.
We had a 14.26 on that.
For the time being, Team Tomlinson is going to ignore that rock. They threw the center guard, or the corner guard rather, and we'll try and draw around that. And we'll slip in the hack for Noah on the second rock, but got a little wide on that. Needs to curl a lot. He's allowed to touch this guard. He can't remove it from play. Kind of a plan B. If the rock was touching the center line, then it wouldn't be allowed to be moved. How do you like playing with the 5 rock rule, Nicole?
Yes, it definitely makes the game more interesting, Wayne.
The last month or so, I've been watching a lot of the provincial playdowns from Ontario, from Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta, BC, all of them. And it's just so much more interesting to watch games these days when there's so many rocks in play. Interesting, though, the way that some of the teams can throw so accurately and so hard. You can have 3 or 4, 5 rocks in the house, and they throw these big, heavy weights with such accuracy, and all of a sudden, what used to be a big, full house is now an empty house. But nevertheless, it's way much more interesting to watch than years gone by. So Austin trying to decide here what he'd like to do with his shot. He's got some options. Could follow that rock down. Could kind of clear out the guard. I think he's probably made a wise decision here. And if he hits this a little bit on the left-hand side as I'm looking at it, he might be able to clear off 2 of those guards, and that would make him happier. It over curled more than what they wanted to, so they took the main guard out of there. Didn't take any of his own out. That's fine. Opened up the shot rock. Mission mostly accomplished.
It appears that Fenton will again to put that guard back in place.
Chris Parkinson, second thrower for Team Fenton. Sweepers are thinking it's got all of the weight that it needs. Trailing over nicely at the end. Very nice guard. Maybe over curled just slightly. Tomlinson's team actually could come down and tap it back. With so much curl on the ice, these shots are makeable. You have to throw the right weight, though, of course, for where the broom is, which is always the case. Sweeping it early. It's going to be tight to that guard, Nicole. And he's on it.
Just a slight nick.
Which is not the worst. Not the worst.
Yes, he has opened it up. Again, Fenton will attempt to replace that guard.
It's been a pretty straightforward end up to now. Thomas Reed throwing this rock. First, third rock. Sweepers will get on this soon to get it over into line. There it goes. A little deeper than what they would have liked, I think. Team Tomlinson can either run that back and get them both, or we can hit that and roll in behind the guards. That would be a nice bonus shot for them. Eli Rands, in turn takeout. Skip says it needs to curl some. It's very close. Hit and the roll. That is pretty much perfect.
Just over curled slightly.
But I don't think he was really too disappointed with that, Nicole, because that was one of the options. Because now he's got a rock in the house that could be a counter later on in the end. If he'd have made the double, he'd have been in the wide open. So a good either plan A or B. I'm not sure exactly what the first plan was. So another guard, Thomas Reed. They're not going to be happy with this shot.
Definitely over curled, Wayne.
What the players, they probably know this already, but if you are a little bit tight on these guards and a little bit light, you just don't get anything from them. The sweepers can't help. So now this is where that first rock of Eli's is really going to be handy. If they can hit the shot rock now and roll again, they'll be sitting two nicely guarded. They're waiting for it to curl, sweeping a bit now. It's a nice hit. Not quite the roll, but still a nice shot. Sitting two, and the fans went wild. So the shot rock is open. Team Fenton has seen the line.
I believe they'll be attempting to hit the inside of that, Wayne, and roll behind cover.
Definitely the plan, Nicole. Good call. Nice control takeout weight here.
They appear to be holding the line.
There's the hit. And, ooh, just a hitch of a roll, but it's still definitely available. Austin has a good chance to come down.
It's probably exposed about 3/4. Do you think, Wayne?
Yeah, that'd be a generous 3/4. Almost, I guess. He has an option here too of rolling away from that center line, and then it doesn't give Team Fenton the chance to do the hit and roll the second chance that he gets. So first things first, though, make that blue one go away. On its way, in turn takeout. It's looking pretty close. Oh, they got to sweep hard to get it by that guard. Is on the guard. Oh, disappointment. Disappointment for Team Tomlinson. Team Fenton will try to get another rock in the house, also partially buried and guarding his shot rock and out guarding the top 12-foot rock of Team Tomlinson. It's only just a bare biter.
Austin might have been just a hair tight on that, Wayne, do you think?
Yeah, he had plenty of ice for that shot, and I think he was just a bit tight, and then it starts to curl right away, and all the king's horses and all the king's men. Oh, I'm getting coaching from the spectators here. So here's the draw shot coming down. It's going to be close.
Might be
Might.
a little light,
Yeah,
Wayne, eh? Yes, I believe he's going to be a little light.
he is definitely. Oh no, they squeezed it in there. Yeah, so it's a good second shot for Team Fenton, but the shot rock is still open. Um, Team Tomlinson can score a point here by making a nose hit. It's a little skimpy on the ice, if I say so myself.
He does have some room in the rings to roll a little bit, Wayne, but he wants to make sure he gets a full piece of that stone so that he stays in for shot rock.
Here's a second chance to make a first impression. He's definitely not going to be on the guard this time. Needs to curl a little bit yet. Needs to curl a bit. And unfortunately for Team Tomlinson, he's rolling out. So that second shot rock that Tomlinson put with his last rock was the counter. Uh, 1 point for Blue. We have a 2-0 score after 3 ends. I think Team Tomlinson, with that first rock over curling, he maybe chose to throw a little bit more weight, and I think he also took a little more ice, and that wasn't the combination for hitting and staying. He needed to have the quieter weight so it would curl up that little bit more.
But they're only down by 2. Lots of time to come back. It's 10 ends of play this evening.
Right, early in the game, 2 point deficit, no big deal. I hear we're broadcasting in Blind Bay finally. If we have any folks that are from out of town and not exactly sure where Salmon Arm is, we're actually on Highway Number One, about an hour and a little bit from Kamloops, and about an hour and a little bit north of Kelowna. So we're in between two big cities, and then Vernon is pretty close by too. What's your favorite thing to do in Salmon Arm, Nicole, besides curling?
Well, there's lots of things to do in Salmon Arm. We've got a beautiful lake, our Shuswap Lake. Lots of boating water activities, lots of boating, lots of fishing. There's just about anything for anybody out here. We have beautiful temperature in the summer and pretty mild winters.
Nicole, we don't have winters in the Shuswap. Come on. You lived in the north, I've lived in the north. What we have is not winter. We're pretty spoiled. I know that most of British Columbia this year has had a pretty mild winter, but we've got virtually no snow, and the temperatures all week here are 3-4 degrees on the plus side. Sun is shining. We love it in the Shuswap. So here's the first couple of rocks having been played. Tomlinson threw the corner guard like we would have expected. Fenton went in the house. Miles Reed throwing a second rock. He can come right down to his first rock, maybe tap it a bit, maybe just freeze on it. Kind of an either or situation. And it's the freezing onto it. Two nice white rocks for Miles Reed. Austin asking know what to deal with these two rocks. There's a possibility of a double there. In turn takeout. Fairly firm. Got the one that just missed the double. Good throw though. His shooter's stuck on the side, so uh, Team Fenton has to deal with that. Out turn takeout. Nice control weight there. Hit it on the nose, lying two. So it's Ben's turn. He's got an out turn takeout. Ideally, hit this blue one, roll behind the corner.
It's like a lovely stone coming down, Wayne.
Needs to curl a little bit. For sure, get the nose. And a titch of a roll. Not buried, but partly covered.
Lovely shot.
Seems they've found their nice control weight. Maybe we can get you to time some of these control weights, hog to hog. Nicole, I'm expecting probably maybe 9.5, 10 seconds.
Okay, we'll tell you shortly here.
Team Fenton, I believe, throws a little bit firmer takeout weights than Team Tomlinson. Not totally sure about that. This looks like nice control. Sweeping it hard to get it by the guard. I don't know. He waited too long. He waited too long. And slips out the back of the house. Adam played it just a little bit too tight there. With those quieter weights, they curl quite a bit. Did you get a time on that one, Nicole?
We have 12 seconds on that.
That sounds a little quiet to me.
That's possibly why there was so much curl happening there, and he wrecked on the guard.
And Austin Tomlinson has decided to hit this second rock of Fenton's out. He had some options there. He could have drawn another one in around that corner guard. Just a tick. And there's another way to get a roll over there. Nicely done. Nice result. Nice result. So Adam calling for his teammate to hit this rock at the top of the 8 foot and roll over in front of the shot rock. It was a little tight on this delivery. Going to get the hit for sure. And the roll, not too bad. Didn't want to roll quite that far, though. He'd like to have been right in front of that red rock. So, open hit, out turn. A lot fewer rocks in play in this game than our game earlier on this afternoon. A little easier on everybody's nerves, the parents included. This rock is curling hard. It's got a tick and a bump, and he lost his other one. Thomas Reed throwing this rock. Again, another out turn takeout. Nice control weight. We'll get a little bit of an outside roll. I think Team Tomlinson is happy enough the way this end has gone now. They may try to blanket after a few more rocks. Oh, he just got the tick on that. Just got the tick. That would have. So Team Fenton put another rock in the house here. Looks like he's going to just go to the center line, not wanting to risk going around the corner guard because that could help out Team Tomlinson if he didn't place it in exactly the right position. So it's looking like Team Fenton is happy enough to allow the blank, or maybe somehow force Team Tomlinson to take one.
I would think too, Wayne, that the force would be in play here, and that the Fenton rink would like to score in even ends.
We will see. Sweeping hard to get this rock into the house. There it is. Full 8 foot. So Austin looking at the open hit. Eli wondering whether we should try and roll over behind that corner guard. That's a long roll, though.
It would be nice to utilize that guard, if all possible.
Rolls all the way across the house like that are pretty tough to manage. Out turn takeout on its way. Well, his teammate's telling him it's pretty firm. Trying to make it curl. And it is a swing and a miss. Now we'll see the force is on for sure. Just slightly overthrown there, Nicole.
Yes, I believe so. A little less weight, and that rock would have definitely curled a little bit more, and he possibly would have had a nice hit and roll with that. But he's got another chance.
Adam Fenton wanting to put one on the center line, probably full 8 foot, trying to make if Austin Tomlinson decides to draw for his point, make it more difficult. Here's the draw on its way. Early sweeping.
It appears to be light, Wayne. The boys are sweeping hard. Doesn't appear to be making the rings.
Oh, don't speak too soon.
That's See? Lovely sweeping. Lovely sweeping.
We've got power sweepers out there, Nicole. Not like us old folks on Tuesday afternoon. It's good to be young. Lots of strength. So Austin will want to maybe cut back on his weight here a little bit. Nice throw here. Score a point.
believe he's tightened up the broom just a little bit on that, Wayne.
We did notice in the previous game this side of the ice was just a touch straighter with any kind of takeout weight. Throwing nicer control weight this time. Still needs to curl a bit. And still didn't quite come up enough. A few groans in the background. Another steal of 1 point. So 4 ends of play. 1 point every end. 3-0. So, Nicole, I hear there's a couple good golf courses around in this neighborhood.
Yeah, there certainly is. The Salmon Arm Golf and Country Club is one of the nicer courses in BC, particularly in the Okanagan area. We have also many courses. We have Predator Ridge out by Vernon, BC, which is a beautiful course. Great courses out in the Kelowna area.
And of course, there's a couple courses, a really nice course in Blind Bay, out where I live, and a little further towards Chase is a golf course called Talking Rock, and that's a very good course for folks to play at. So if any of you folks out there are thinking about moving to our part of the country, lots of great summer activities. Nicole had mentioned the lake and all of the boating and swimming and stuff that goes on there. So Shuswap Tourist Association is not paying us, I should say that. All right, Team Tomlinson, I suspect, is switching their strategy here just a titch rather than throwing center guards to put the rocks in the house and force Team Tomlinson to deal with them later on in the end. There it is, going to the top of the 4. Noah Longland throwing this corner guard. You'll see a lot of movement on this rock at the end as it's coming to a stop. Nicely done. Top 12 guard being asked for Miles Reed to throw.
Appears to have over curled, Wayne, exposing that Fenton stone sitting on the top 4.
Right, opportunity for a hit and roll. Noah Longland throwing this rock. Looked a little tight to begin with. They're sweeping it right away. They're not allowed to move that guard on the center line there. And it will have to go back. It's an unfortunate situation for Team Tomlinson because now that gives Team Fenton a chance to put a better guard. That's about where it was. Just, well, actually, it was a little bit more open than that, but close enough. The 5 rock rule has definitely changed the game. Much more interesting game with lots of rocks in play, most ends. This is a better guard coming down. Thrown by Chris Parkinson. Not quite touching the top eight, but guarding the shot rock. Tough rock to deal with.
Austin will have to remove some of those rocks in play as they're starting to build in difficult places for him to get at. He's possibly looking at clearing the front.
I think I'd have been tempted to down in there in the house.
Opportunity to hit the top stone and possibly double those out.
Team Fenton is happy to keep the end wide open. This is a better throw. We'll get the top one for sure. And we'll roll out. Another guard to come. They pretty much figured out where to put the broom for this. Thomas Reed. Nice and close to the house. You'd like it? It's got some curling to do, but it will at the end. There it goes. Maybe a little tighter than they would have liked, but it's guarding the shot rock. Opportunity for a double for Team Tomlinson. And the top one is gone. Just a little bit more curl needed for the double. Not many decisions to be made in this end, Nicole.
No, I think Fenton is happy to keep it clean and keep Tomlinson shooting at them. Like they're that.
And here's the guard coming down.
This guard is sitting a little higher, I think, Wayne. Yes, it appears to be a lovely stone.
Yeah, that's a good guard. Better than the first one. Austin Tomlinson is asking to clear that guard. There's not really much chance to get to the shot rock yet. Eli Rands. Got the tick. We bounce in off that side one? Not quite. We may or may not be on. Does anybody know back there? That's it. We might. That was the signal before. If there was only one screen there, then we were off the air. Did you maybe want to go ask him? Do you know where he is? Well, yeah, I don't know that. Like I say, when we went to this one screen though, then we weren't on. And another guard being thrown, Team Fenton. I do believe this one's going to over curl a little bit though. Sweeping it hard to get it in the house. They'll have a second shot similar to the last end, and just short. So, Team Tomlinson will have a chance to make the hit and the roll this time. Maybe get themselves a couple points. We're on. Thank you, Jenny. We are on the air. We're a little worried that we'd lost our feed, but no, we're good to go. So Team Tomlinson here is going to throw the takeout. Quiet out turn takeout. He's got the hit this time.
Just keeping it nice and clean, and it's a lovely shot.
And the nose hit. More excitement in the neighborhood. Team Fenton taking less ice. He'll be looking for the roll. Hope he can get himself a steal out of this end. If there's any more steals in this game, we might have to call the police. Here's the outturn takeout attempt. They want the roll. Sweeping it hard to keep it straight. There's the hit. And almost perfect. Almost perfect. Good enough, really. Only about half of that rock showing. Difficult shot for Austin. He can try to pick it, or he can draw for the point. I'm sure they'd love to get on the scoreboard. He's thrown a couple draw shots already, so he should be pretty confident with being able to get into the 4 foot.
I believe he has the whole 4 foot lane to draw to, so lots of room. I believe he's changed his mind. He looks like he's going to be hitting. Probably going to come with some quieter weight so that he stays in the rings.
So, yes, quiet weight takeout. A little tricky. Adjusting the ice a little bit. You don't want to be too skinny on your ice with that guard there in the way. Here we go. Can't quite see it yet. He's got the tick and the blank.
Lovely shot by Austin Tomlinson.
Yeah, that was a tough shot. So they'll have a chance in the after the fifth end break to try and get on the scoreboard and score a couple points using those corner guards that have yet not worked out for them, but it's not too late. So we're going to take a little bit of a break here, drink some water, catch our breath. We'll be back in 5 minutes. Even if it goes but it's not. We're not going there. Yes. We spent most days down here. Nice out there. Actually, surprisingly, we went down to visit. Somehow, they probably don't paint surface, but they stripe surface. Granddaughter's birthday. He's 13, 14, really well.
Yeah, that's what my youngest son, juniors. Summer family. Yeah, they use ours. It might be. I'm not doing anything different.
Yeah, really good. We're still sleeping as though we're sleeping in the hazard. I've been trying to kill us with hazard slowly. Things pile up with the
What are your chores? Okay, no, great, all right. Just, yeah. Really? She put it the same thing. Yeah, it's very weird. And I think I'm watching hours. Yeah, I don't think they know. When they walked in, like, John, this is supposed to be your job. Somehow I think I'm like, hold on to the remote. Just don't go home.
Okay, folks, I think we're back. Really excellent game here. A 3-0 lead by Team Fenton. Uh, just a reminder, this Team Fenton is a team that's a two-time defending champion for this under 21. And our local team, Austin Tomlinson and his crew, are just doing a super job keeping up with these fellas. Um, have had a few opportunities to score some points, haven't quite done so yet, but I'm expecting in this next end or so they'll be on the board. Yeah. We want to give congratulations to our ice making crew. I think we mentioned it earlier on in the broadcast. Norm Scott is the Curl BC ice tech that's come to help with the ice. They brought their own curling rocks, special curling rocks that they used in all of the Curl BC competitions. He's helped out by our local ice maker, Miles Chapin, does a super job for us all year long. And Lonnie Karpik is his helper, and we really appreciate the work that they do as well. So a traditional start to this end. Team that's ahead, throw the rock in the house, went behind the tee line. Now they'll try to throw a guard on that. Team Tomlinson through the corner guard. Both teams are getting pretty confident now with being able to read the ice, knowing the weights to throw. There's the guard. It's a little bit long considering the fact that this rock is behind the tee line, but uh, Team Tomlinson could either go around his own corner if he chose, or he can go around the center guard, um, either or, and he's gone with the going around the center guard and using the first Fenton rock as backing.
So we'll get a time on this, Wayne.
It's curling hard now. They're going to have to work it to get by that guard. I believe it's going to be on the guard. And if they move it off the center line, they're going to have to put it back again. And it is off. Unfortunately, the red rock gets removed and the blue rock goes back to where it was. One thing that Team Tomlinson is going to have to learn with these kind of shots to make sure they take lots and lots of ice because it's was totally a wasted rock for Team Tomlinson because their rock gets removed. 5 rock rule: you can't remove any rock that's on the center line until uh, after 5 rocks have been played. That gives Team Fenton another chance to throw a guard, possibly a better one than the first one. Did you get a time on this one, Nicole, or no?
I did not. I had 1469 on the first Tomlinson stone, which was a shade light.
Yeah, this one came nicely to the top of the 4 foot. So now Austin really has no other option than to try and get rid of these guards. He can't be dealing with these on the 4 foot when they're well guarded like this. There's the hit and the roll away. Almost got the double there, actually. Maybe a little bit more sweeping on that. They might have held it up and got the double. He really, though, wanted his guard to roll out of the way. Team Fenton, as we mentioned, well experienced team from the Royal City Curling Club. That's down in New Westminster, and that is a hotbed for especially junior curling. I was noticing when I was looking up some of the statistics before this weekend that Royal City has had, I think, about 8 junior champions in a row. 4 of those being Team Tyler Tardy, who many of you curling fans will know is playing with Kevin Cooey out of Alberta this year, and a couple of his teammates are playing for Caitlin Schneider, and they won the BC championships. And those 2 fellas that used to curl with Tyler Tardy, actually from the north where I'm from, one of them's from Dawson Creek and the other is from Fort St. John. So interesting how folks can come from small towns and make a big impact on the national scene. So another run at the guards here. It's going to be close to the nose here. You might get a couple, Nicole. Oh, bad luck.
Just needed to come up just a little.
Yeah, you missed both of those just by a titch.
And Fenton continues to throw the center line guard. See where this one ends up. His previous guard was 16 and a half, so we'll see where this ends up.
That sounds about normal for what our ice has been all year. It's maybe not quite as quick as what it has been, but it's still very, very good. Sweeping it hard to make sure there's no port there to come through. And pretty much perfect. Austin Tomlinson trying to make a decision of what to do. He felt that he didn't have enough success on running those guards back, so now he's chosen to draw down here. It is available. He could get shot coming around that guard. It's got to be perfect. And I believe this is Ben Froese throwing this rock. The line is good. It's a little bit heavy though by the looks of it.
Yes, we've got a 12-2 on that, and it will clearly go through the house.
Yeah, definitely heavy. Yeah. Yeah, those are shots that really need to be made when you're taking the aggressive stance here, and to have the rock not help at all. Lighter would have been better than heavier, but of course he didn't do it on purpose. So if Team Fenton puts another guard up on this side, Team Tomlinson's not going to have any choice but to run some of those guards back. This looks a little tight right from the beginning.
It does appear to be over curling. But the weight is lovely. The weight is 15.2.
That's pretty much our normal draw weight on salmon arm ice. And even though I had my eyes tested here this afternoon, Nicole, I guess calling that little tight, I was wrong.
I think the boys held the sweeping quite well on that.
We'll say that. Good call. Here's the run back. Right on to Blues. Needs to be straight back here. Right on the nose. Looks like he'll get something. Oh, pretty close. That was a nice try. Good throw.
This was a beautiful hit. Just a bit of an unlucky break there by rolling out.
It was very close to getting at least two of those blue rocks. It just unfortunately didn't. He only got the one. Team Fenton has had a lot of similar kinds of shots in this end. First rock in the house, and then throwing a bunch of guards. Most of them have been perfect. First skip rock, Adam Fenton.
Working the sweeping hard on this one, Wayne. It appears to be curling, and it will possibly get it by. Excellent sweeping.
Oh, that same sweeping that got the last rock by, got that rock by. Very, very good sweeping. And even in better position than the previous rock. Two rocks and the one on the button, another one top four, another one full eight at the back there. Very difficult situation for Team Tomlinson. We don't need magic here, but we need a very, very good shot from Austin.
They do have the capability of running those red stones back. They've got a couple options out there.
The difficulty for Team Tomlinson is it's very difficult to get the two shot rocks because of the way they're overlapped. It's looking like he's choosing not to do the run back. He's going to try to draw down there. He's not going to be able to get shot rock, I'm afraid. But he could get a very good second shot if he can follow Adams' rock in where he drew down there onto the button. If you throw any more weight to move that shot rock, it won't curl enough. So he's in the hack, steady himself. Draw shot on the way. Called the sweeping early. Similar line to Fenton's, but it's appearing a little bit light to me, Nicole.
It is just a hair light.
It's too bad. Tough break there. Really needed to be in the house there. Really needed to be on the 4 foot. The line was perfect. So now if Adam Fenton blocks up this other side, then we might need a little bit of magic with Tomlinson's last rock. He does have some options, difficult options, but there's two guards on the left-hand side as we're looking at it. One would be an in-off to the button, and the other would be a angle raise.
It does appear that Adam Fenton is attempting to come through that port.
Yeah, it's a pretty reasonably big port for players of this caliber, and especially with the amount of curl that we have in the ice. Out turn draw. Tick the red one, still came down into the house, but it does open up the opportunity for Tomlinson to follow that same path down there. But holy moly, what can he do with that? That is not a nice situation to have to look at. Not nice. Double raise take out over here on the right hand side. Draw down there. He's looking at that one angle raise that I was talking about a while back. He's major into damage control here because those rocks are so well situated. I don't want to say never, but I can't imagine how Team Tomlinson can score this end. Now, I think we're having what we call a coach's interaction. We used to call these timeouts, but I was told by one of the coaches today it's called a coach's interaction. So they're having a chat back there. Now, if there's a genie somewhere in the bottle, maybe.
It's going to be a difficult shot. There aren't very many options. I believe a run back is possibly the only thing to move a couple of stones. Very difficult to come around from the far side and use the same path that Adam Fenton just threw and try to get a piece of that 4 foot to possibly keep Fenton down to maybe 1 or 2 stones. All these options are so difficult for Austin.
I might even take back what I said earlier. You know, if he makes this double raise, if he hits right in between the two rocks at the top of the 4 foot, I don't think he can squeeze through though to get the shot rock, but he could definitely cut them down to only 1, which would be a total victory if this could happen. So, Team Tomlinson, we got our fingers crossed. And toes. Okay, everything's crossed here. Eyes. Okay, Austin, come on. Everybody's cheering for you. I don't think we're supposed to take sides, are we, Nicole?
No. We have to be neutral.
Don't have to. Don't tell me. Don't tell me I have to. Okay, Austin, come on.
We're here to cheer for beautiful shots. Either way.
Oh, it looks tight to me. No. Oh, unfortunate. It was a good try. He was tight, pretty much on the slide.
He did have beautiful weight, though. That's the weight he needed to move some stones.
And that was for sure, Nicole. Yep, good call. Team Tomlinson had played such a strong game up to the end of that 5th end, and even this end wasn't poorly played, but Team Fenton put all of their rocks in the right place and just made it so difficult for Team Tomlinson to deal with it. The The one heavy draw where they had an opportunity to get to the back, one at the back of the forefoot was probably their only good chance that they could have done something positive in that end. So shake it off. We've got another 4 ends that we could play. Let's get on the scoreboard, boys. So this end, more than likely to start the way the last 3, 4 ends have started. Team Fenton putting the first rock in the house, aiming for top four. And there it is, biting the button. Thanks.
I believe Austin was attempting to throw up the corner guard.
Yeah, it'd be really great to get these corner guards up there and get to be able to use them. So far, I remember only one time in the game so far where they've been able to get a rock around the corner guard, and in that end, they weren't able to take advantage of the odd Fenton miss. Are we slipping into the house there? Just slipped into the house, so that'll give Team Fenton a chance to hit that rock. This side of the ice is at one spot where it was a little bit straighter than any other spot. This one's coming up pretty good. Should be a nose hit there, and just a biter. There's a close game over on sheet D between Team Teed and Team McKenzie. They're tied up after 6. The game on sheet E, unfortunately, was a runaway and is over now. And Team Beck, which is the local team, uh, defeated Team Wilson, I believe it is. Yes, it is Team Wilson. So that game might only be in the fifth end break, but I don't see any. I don't see any curlers are out there, so they might have decided that was a match and save all of their save all of their shots for tomorrow. Yes, in fact, Nicole just told me there's an X on the scoreboard which indicates that it's a game over. And back here on our sheet, we have a takeout by Fenton, hit and rolled out. So now it's Ben's turn. Team Tomlinson is going to take the wide open approach here. He could choose to draw around that, especially considering the fact that he's points down, but he's chosen to make the easier shot and hit that. And hopefully, the plan would be is to roll into the house. And there's the hit. Nice hit on the nose there. Yep.
Yes, that was a lovely hit by Ben Froese.
So it appears we're going to have another open end here, Nicole.
Yes, it's looking that way, Wayne.
Chris Parkinson's second rock. Very straight down this side. Almost surprising. Oh, and there you got a little bit of an inside roll. In turn takeout. This will curl a little bit better than a little bit further out where they were.
He's got
Yep.
lots of rings to play with there, so he will get a nice roll off that.
Yeah.
Lovely shot.
Yep, good shot. Little narrow ice on this takeout attempt. They throw firm weight, like I said earlier on in the game. Traveling pretty straight down there. Comes up a little bit. And he just rolls out of the house. Eli and Ryan's first rock. Austin's asked for a rock in the house. Just through the house. A little bit too heavy there.
We had a 13.28 on that, and he just barely slid through the back of the house.
Yeah, we're looking at more of 15 seconds to the tee line. Thomas Reed.
Thomas appears to be a slightly lighter weight. He's right on the button at 14.27.
If he'd have been with our seniors curling there before Christmas, that would be worth a turkey. Eli, out turn, take out. Boys are sweeping it hard. There's a nice hit. A little bit of an outside roll. Too much roll, yes, or just out of the house. Just out of the house. This is the most open end we've had, Nicole.
It sure is, Wayne, and I'm sure that the Fenton team is quite happy to continue keeping it wide open.
Adam has a draw here. Sweepers jumped on it right away. Must have been a little bit worried with the split time there. What'd you get for that, Nicole?
We had a 15.7 on that, and appears to be a little on the light side.
Yeah, which is why they were sweeping it right from the beginning. So Austin has an opportunity now to go around that. Maybe after this end, Nicole, we can give the sponsors another shout out.
Yes, for sure we can do that.
I don't know him. It is now.
Austin Tomlinson. He's got a draw. Lots of room on the guards.
Be coming in quite nice. About a 14:06 on that.
So he's back 4 foot. Nice draw. He would have liked it to been behind that guard a little bit more than that, but seems to me we saw the similar kind of thing several ends ago. See if Adam Fenton can negotiate that hit and roll like he did last time. And if you recall, Austin came down and picked him out for a blank end that time. That would have been back in the fifth end. Takeout. Sweepers say it's got lots of weight. It's curling hard, not so hard. Keeping it straight. There's the hit and no roll. So wide open. Austin Tomlinson, I think, would really like to hit that on the nose, get himself on the scoreboard. Austin's ready for his last shot. Got the rock cleaned. Getting his mind in order. The fans are holding their breath. It might be a little bit hot, but he'll get a piece of it for sure. But I don't think he's going to stay in. Wait for one more end, and this time maybe he can get two or three or four. Okay, Nicole, you were going to mention the sponsors once again.
Yes, let's go through those quickly here, Wayne. For the Tomlinson rink out of Salmon Arm, we have Walper Lumber, New Horizon RV Rentals, and Shuswap Orthodontics. And the team wanted to mention many thanks to their fantastic parent group, many of which are here behind us. From the Fenton sponsorship, we have Accent Inns, Diamond Delivery, TDI Tech Development, Volvo Penta, Reed Chiropractic, PharmaSave, Dominion Lending, IcePad Hardline, and Sure Copy.
All of these teams do need sponsorship as well as their parents' financial and emotional support. It's a long season. There's lots of travel involved, and so thank you very much to those sponsors, and keeps the young men curling and uh, trying to reach their dream of going to a national championship, and maybe later on as they get a little older, a little more experience, maybe a trip to the Brier. So first rock, top 12. Tomlinson, corner guard, needing the rock somewhere between the hog line and the house. Don't want to be slipping in. There's a tight corner guard. Very nice. Something they can use a little later on. And now the draw to the 4 foot. Miles Reed, second rock of the end. A little more weight than the first one. Line looks good. Might go a little deep.
Yes, Wayne, we've got a 13.5 on the Reed stone, and I believe it's going to just go right through to the back of the house.
Yeah, sometimes it's a little hard to adjust your weight by just a little bit. He knew he needed to have more weight than the first one. Um, just a little bit too much of an overthrow. So this time, Austin has decided to get rid of that rock at the top 12 foot. That way, he won't have to worry about chasing around rocks on the 4 foot of Team Fenton. There's the hit, and they'll roll out. Adam asking his second to put another rock in the house. Top four would be kind of what they're looking for. Coming down nice. Settle in right on the tee line, just behind. Austin Tomlinson wanting to keep things simple. He could actually choose to draw to that to make it more difficult for the Fenton team. But at this stage of the game, I think he's just hoping to keep things easy, give his team some confidence going into the next game. The fans are still cheering. Adam could hit this rock that's in the house, but he's wanting to keep things really, really wide open. He's going to run the guard. He could have done that last time. A little surprised he didn't, actually. Wow, here's a peel. Looks like Kevin Martin kind of weight. Oh, he was actually trying for the slash double, but he only got the one. Good thing he didn't break those rocks, Nicole. You got to pay for them if you break them. They know that, right?
I'm sure Pearl BC would have something to say about that.
Yeah, we've got 6 sheets of rocks cooling over on the other side of the ice. So we could put some substitutes in there. Our rocks that we use in our curling club aren't quite as sharp as these ones. They do curl nicely. As I mentioned, Miles and Lonnie have done an excellent job for a number of years at our rink, and we've really been pleased with the ice and the behavior of the rocks. So here is almost the second rock in the house, not quite. Adam is trying to slash double again. See if you can time how fast this comes, Nicole. Probably about 6 seconds. Well, it's a little slower than the last one.
6.9.
There you go. 7 second takeout, and he jammed it, as luck would have it. Well, luck for Team Tomlinson, bad luck for Team Fenton. When you throw them that hard and get that much of a rock, you don't expect to jam it like that. So a chance to get a second rock in the house. Last one was just a little bit short. Ideally, this would be right on the tee line, making it a difficult double for Team Fenton. This one is in the house for sure. And to the tee line, just about perfect.
It's a lovely stone, very difficult to any kind of double off that.
Team Fenton will try to hit this and roll towards that. Pretty flat for a double. I don't think that's the plan, just to try and group the rocks for the next shot. A little bit of sweeping here to help it curl. There's the hit on the nose. Shot rock, however. Austin will ask his teammate to try and hit that on the nose. Have a nice two rock split on the house. Oh, we might have got that a little bit out, a little bit heavy. Got the hit, but the rollout. So one rock left in the house. Adam Fenton. In turn takeout. Firm control I expect for weight. They're sweeping hard to get any piece of it. Ooh, did not tick it out. Did not tick it out. So another chance for Team Tomlinson to split the house. Be nice to see this young team have some success in this end. They played so well all throughout, just that one really, really bad end in the sixth. Other than that, they played strong against a veteran team, we can say, even though they're under 21. They've won this championship 2 years in a row. For a young team like Tomlinson's to hold them at bay for quite a few ends, quite an accomplishment for them. Should be close. There's the draw. Nicely done, right to the tee line.
Lovely shot by Austin.
This side of the ice has been reasonably straight. You can see the ice is just 3-4 inches off the rock. If he throws it well, should be able to get a nose hit here. Fairly firm takeout weight this time. And rolls out. Team Red will be on the board. Our fans here are cheering. There we go. Now we're here. There we are. Yes. We've been waiting for that. One for sure and maybe two. Take a little more ice. Got lots of house to work with. Get a little fist pump down at the end. Pump them up.
Austin will be throwing similar weight. He had a 14.38 on that, so he'll be close. Lots of paint. Just has to touch the paint.
Okay, here it is for 2 points. First hog line. Looks similar to the last one. Little sweeping wouldn't hurt. Boys are on it. I'm not supposed to say this, but hard, boys. Come on, hard. Sweep it. Come on, boys. Come on. Come on. Arr! Thank you very much, sweepers. Thank you very much, fans. We can all go home happy. So I think that this might be the end of the
So
game.
that was a very well played.
Well,
end.
we haven't quite shaken hands yet. We're still discussing. What do you say, Coach? Yeah, it's late at night.
But that was a very well end played by the Tomlinson rink, and to finish the game on a high note.
Yeah, that's great for them, and that's all for us, Nicole. Thank you very much for helping out. We have a second win for Team Fenton, and as you say, a nice way for Team Tomlinson to end their game, and they'll be able to come out tomorrow with a positive attitude. So I think Nicole and I are doing another game tomorrow. I'm not quite remembering what time it
I
is.
believe it's 12:30.
12:30 sounds right. So all of the fans that were with us tonight, hope you can join us again tomorrow.
Yes, have a good evening, folks, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye for now.
That went okay.
We're done. It's not done. Okay.
You have to bring all this. Pardon? You did a great job.
One left left, okay? Okay.
Be warm and healthy. Yeah. Well, we went our first day, but it went to full 10 a.m. Like we were off the ice until 6:45.
I think I'm going to have a touch of rum. Did you want a wine or something?
No, I'm going to finish my water, I think. But,
yeah, so it was there. We played really well, and then the second game was against we did well until like I said, normally thanks for commentating. It was awesome.
Thank you.
It was great.
It was fun.
Up to that point. Big two. All right. Yay, that was such a good game. That was yeah, yeah. That was great. Yeah. We can't even go there.
No, we won't know till tomorrow.